shortage of eyes on the Middle East tonight. The question that has plagued families since October 7th, 2023, will the hostages held by Hamas be released and returned to Israel? A draft agreement reached today on a phased ceasefire, the closest they have been since fighting erupted 465 days ago. There is optimism on both sides tonight that this will get done. Fingers crossed. Eyewitness News reporter N.J. Burkett speaking to many who are hoping for a resolution. He's live in Crown Heights, Brooklyn. And Newt, what happens next to make this an official ceasefire?
Well, at this point, Bill, they are still hammering out the details, but the Associated Press is reporting tonight that Hamas and Israel have agreed to the broad terms of a ceasefire. Now, here in Crown Heights, the Jewish community here, there is relief mixed with concern. In Brooklyn's Arabic community, there is praise for the diplomatic efforts that appear to have paid off. Israel stepped up its bombing campaign in Gaza today, an indication that a ceasefire might finally be at hand. They watched on Arabic TV in Bay Ridge, Brooklyn, where hopes for an end to the fighting have been dashed so many times before. Essa Massoud is a Palestinian American who owns the local supermarket.
The first step is stop, right? To stop the killing, to stop the. It's just horrible bloodshed. It's just too much. I mean, what we see on social media, what we see on the news, it's just too much.
Under the draft agreement, sources say Hamas would release over 30 hostages, including some Americans. 7 are believed to be among the hostages in Gaza, 3 of whom are thought to be alive. In exchange, Israel would pause fighting so humanitarian aid can begin pouring into Gaza, which would clear the way for the remaining hostages to be released, and ultimately, a new Palestinian government could be established. Sources say the deal would also require Israel to release some 50 Palestinian prisoners, including 30 militants currently serving life sentences. Jewish New Yorkers like Moti Seligson say that's a concern.
What compromises had to be made, and do those compromises put the 10 million residents of Israel in jeopardy?
The U.S., Egypt, and Qatar have spent the past year trying to mediate an end to the war and to secure the release of dozens of hostages captured 15 months ago when Hamas militants massacred some 1,200 Israelis. The massive Israeli counteroffensive killed an estimated 45,000 Palestinian militants and civilians alike.
Hamas should have laid down their arms and surrendered months and months ago. It would have prevented so much bloodshed.
Palestinian advocates say it's an important first step, but only a first step.
United States, European countries, and all other countries that supplied Israel with weapons have a responsibility to help rebuild Gaza and promote stability.
Well, again, to be clear, both sides have agreed to the broad strokes of a ceasefire in Gaza. They have several details to be worked out. When will the hostages be released? How will they be released? When will the fighting actually stop? The timing, the logistics of all of that still being worked out tonight.